Good evening, Olinda families. I am so thrilled to be joining you live from my office for Back to School Night 2020. I'm Dr. Pre, and I'm incredibly proud to serve as the principal for this community. Before we continue with tonight's presentation, I would like to invite us all to take a moment to display our appreciation for this nation with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and face the flag. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. That is quite a phrase. The word pledge means that it is a promise, and a promise is a commitment to put our best foot forward to influence the future. Pledges don't really mean anything if you're talking about the past. They inherently are about the future. The challenge about the future is that it is unknown. It is dynamic because it can change. So when we make a pledge, we are expressing our vision of the future, the goal, the ideal that we have in our mind as we take those best foot forward steps. Tonight, we're going to talk about a shared vision for Olinda Elementary School. The second half of that phrase is allegiance. Allegiance is a big word, because now we're defining who we are making that pledge for. All of us who are watching this tonight have many common allegiances. We have so much that we have in common. So many things that tie us together. So many similar stories about our families and this wild ride that is life. Tonight we're going to talk about our allegiance to our children. Tonight, we will put the unity in community as we work together to do what our children require us to do. Gratefully, although I'm alone here in the office right now, gratefully, we are not alone in this quest to fulfill a pledge. We are joined tonight and provided direction by a tremendous board of trustees. I'd like to express my gratitude to them for their steady hand in leading us through these unprecedented times and keeping our community safe. Thank you to Board President, Mrs. Nicole Colon, to Board Vice President, Mr. Paul Ruiz, to Board Clerk, Ms. Carrie Kropke, to Board Member, Mrs. Carrie Flanders, and to Board Member, Mrs. Gail Lyons. Thank you for your continued hard work for the community here in Brea. When you see a board member, please say thank you for what they're doing for our community. I know I will whenever I see them. In addition to our board, we are directly led and managed by a group of educators that inspire me to be a better educator every single day as they guide us and model what leadership in education can be. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to our executive cabinet, Superintendent Dr. Brad Mason, for your reason and calm in a time of unreasonable circumstances. To Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Ms. Carrie Torres, for your focus on leading a team in determining how we can continue to serve student educational outcomes here in Brea. To Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Ms. Brenda Leon, for managing a lean department that welcomes every single one of our employees to the BOUSD family and takes care of them like they are family. And to Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Mr. Rick Champion, who finds a way to make us laugh and make us believe in the future because of what he and his team get done today. A community is led by so many people, and I'd like to hand it off now to another community leader who I am proud to serve alongside and to partner with in service of our children. Ladies and gentlemen, your PTO president, Mr. Mike Simpson.
Good evening, Olinda families. My name is Mike Simpson, and I have the pleasure of serving as the president of the PTO for this school year. We're 3 weeks into this wild experiment, and I hope you're all settling in nicely. Personally, I was out of my mind from the very first day, but things are definitely getting better, and we're starting to have some fun. Under normal circumstances, I would be able to address all of you from outside of the NPR. We could check out the tile wall and see how wonderful that thing turned out, and I could introduce you to all of the amazing ladies, and Gilbert, who have volunteered for the PTO board and committees this year. We won't be able to do that, but I very much look forward to the day that I can. I'm cognizant of your time and don't want to take too much of it this evening, and admittedly, I've tried for the last hour to trim this thing down, and it's just not happening. So I just want to give you a couple quick announcements. One, welcome our new families to Olinda and to the PTO. We are a fundraising organization, and through our events and your generous donations, we're able to provide supplemental materials, experiences, and services for the kids and teachers at Olinda. Secondly, we have a brand new website. You're not getting all of the packets from school you're used to, but all of the information is right here, olindapto.org. I highly encourage you to go there, have a look. If there is anything you want to know, if you want to get involved, reach out. We would love to have you. We hope that this will give you the opportunity to stay more engaged and potentially to take a next step and actually volunteer when the events do come around. Lastly, Cook's Night Out. One of our fundraising activities is that local eateries and businesses in the community support us by giving back to Olinda. Next Thursday, La Puerta has been generous enough to not only make it a Cook's Night Out, but it is all day out. So your question for what's for dinner next Thursday has been solved. 20% of all takeout orders all day are coming back to the kids. So next Thursday, support the PTO, go to Olinda. Check us out on the website. Membership is going now. Stay tuned for updates on that starting next week. I appreciate you all. Hope you have a great evening. Thank you to the teachers who are working with the curveball you've been thrown. And thank you and cheers to all the parents who have now become teachers again. It's a wild journey. We're going to get through it together. Have a good night.
Seamless transition back to me. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Seamson. I'm excited for the work that we are going to be able to do together. I'm excited. I know that this is challenging times, but I have a wonderful PTO and a wonderful group of people that are going to work to make this an amazing experience for your children. We are blessed at Olinda Elementary School to be served by a community of educators that can make mountains move, but they don't do it with hope and luck. They do it with hard work. Think about what it took to put together those materials for our first day of school, and then multiply it by 30 or more so that each child receives the kind of love from their new teacher that they deserve. Think about the logistics of having hundreds of families navigate through our parking lots to pick up our materials and to do so smoothly. Think about the patience of our drivers, our families, our parents, who drove safely and carefully and made this all work. We did all of that together. And we will continue to do amazing things together in this temporary set of wacky circumstances. I'd like to take a moment to honor that group and make sure that you know the names of the folks that make our children have these amazing experiences. Each of these people has taken their next step in the journey of education, whether it be thinking creatively or picking up some more technology skills. There are so many things that this group of people are doing to make our work better. They continue to innovate and collaborate in the name of Brea's children. So, ladies and gentlemen, the staff of Olinda Elementary School, I should not have done this after Mike did that snappy presentation, but here we go. Our littlest buddies in preschool are guided by Mrs. Noel Maestro Juan. Our kinder buddies are led by Mrs. Paula Allen, Mrs. Dana Wellen, Mrs. Michelle Laka, and Mrs. Michelle Peck. I just made a mistake. Mrs. Laka is teaching TK this year, and Miss Michelle Peck. Our fun firsties are served by Mrs. Belinda Dixon, Mrs. Haley Troya, and Ms. April Borcherding. Our 1-2 combo kiddos are led by Miss McKenna Case. In second grade, our super second graders are also taught by Mrs. Sheila Hubbard, Mrs. Kimberly Draper, Mrs. Kate Alcala, and Mrs. Danica Murrow. Our terrific third graders are served by Mrs. Ann Steppen, Miss Helen Wan, and Mr. Kim Britton. Our fabulous fourth graders are led by Mrs. Stacy Gakowski and Miss Susan Coburn. Miss Jill Berner serves as our amazing 4-5 combo class teacher. Our fifth grade fun bunch is led by Mrs. Stephanie Serwinski and Mrs. Megan Jones. And in our last combo class, Mrs. Hurd leads our awesome 5-6 combo kiddos. Our stupendous sixth grade big buddies are also served by Mr. Matthew Biles and Mr. James Kessel. Olinda also has several specialists who serve the children of our community. Mrs. Patty Hicks, our reading specialist, Mr. Wu Chung, our PE facilitator, and our special education team, Miss Natalie O'Neill, our school psychologist, Miss Kelsey Sterick, our upper grade special education teacher, Miss Taylor Britoy, our new lower grade resource specialist, and Miss Rachel Ludden, our speech and language pathologist. All of these educators are doing an amazing job in navigating this process right now. I have seen their skill sets grow as they inspire me with what they are doing on a day-to-day basis for the children of my city. Yeah, I live here in Brea, I say it a lot. I am often brought to tears because I see the work that they are doing. You don't get to see that. That's what I get to do as the principal of this amazing school. And I'm so proud of this staff of educators. They are working together and learning new tools while also trying desperately to make this work for you at home as well. I never thought that I would be the principal of a virtual school, but it's pretty neat to see what the people around here have been able to do and what they will continue to do as they work together. In addition to our teaching staff, there's a group of people who come into work every day and make this place go. The operations machine of this school is served with a heart and care and organization that I often marvel at. I'd like to thank Mrs. Eileen Claren for the amazing things that you do out of our Library Media Center. I'd like to thank Mrs. Ann Lee for navigating the back end of our databases to make sure that everything is where it needs to be, and also answering your questions as you walk in the door or call. And thank you to Mrs. Hilda Armas, Mr. Ignacio Castillo Jr., he goes by Nacho, and Mr. Luis Castaneda, our custodial staff, for maintaining this place and keeping it safe for us all to come in and work. And lastly, thank you to Mrs. Amy Mueller, who coordinates all of this and just does a tremendous job of maintaining our whole school with a gracious smile and a positivity that is truly special. So why am I mentioning all of these people? Because these are the people who are going to deliver on that pledge to provide our children with the amazing educational experience that they deserve. It takes all of those names and more to make this work. When I got to order something for our students, 5 people have to make that happen, and we work together to make things go. There have been, and there will continue to be bumps in the road. We cannot do anything about the digital gremlins that might throw our days off here and there. But we can persevere through those challenges. We know that this work is hard, but we also know that it is temporary and that we're up for it. We know that this is going to make our children more resilient because it is making us more resilient. And that is something special that we are giving this next generation amidst all of this stuff going on. But it is essential that we do this all together with a grace that we did not know we have. This is new for everyone, and we will be stronger and we will get better, but it's still new. The education of a child is complex. There are so many things to take into consideration, and we are all trying to be considerate of those things together. My hope is that we will lead one another through these precarious times with wise and measured decisions that focus on solutions for our temporary challenges, but also maintain a focus on the fact that this will all come to an end soon. What does that mean? That means I know that there are a million things that I can do, but I have to look ahead, work with all the people that I just described and named to you to think about what our next steps are going to be. We will soon be together. And in the meantime, we are bound by our collective strength and our singular purpose, which is to serve the children of Brea. Thank you. We hope you had a wonderful night getting to meet your teachers, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Oh, something's happening. I will see you tomorrow morning for the morning announcements. Have a great night, everyone. Fly by, Eagles.